Pardon me, everyone. I'm trying to find something that I can just prop up my microphone with because, as you know, I only got like this blue snowball mic, but it doesn't exactly have an extension to the mic itself. So, trying to find something that I could possibly prop it up with in the meantime. Unless you guys can hear me just fine right here. But if you guys can hear me just fine, then you know what? We'll just work with this because I'm looking around, but I'm not really seeing anything that I could just set right here in order for it to be propped up and in front of my face. So I think if I just turn the mic upwards and then towards me, we should be fine for today. But I may need to invest in something further down the line. Invest in something to, bring my mic up closer to my mouth so I'm not always hunched over like I am always. So that'll be something I get to a little bit later in the future. But, yo peoples, Kyushu92 here to bring you yet another live stream of me reading through, solo leveling, if this title isn't anything to go by. So, with that being said, we are on chapters 51 through 60. Well, we're going to go through 51 through 60. And, well, let's just say Jin is embracing... By the way, what solo leveling website am I using? I am using levelingsolo.com/manga/solo leveling. Or, well, it's just the chapter. But levelingsolo.com is what I'm using. And Shonen Sensei, whenever he's here, he's always handy to have around because he's always letting me know just in case there's some pages that are mistranslated here and there. But this is what I'm using thus far. It's been a lot better than the first site I used on the first couple of chapters. Thankfully, I corrected that before we got real knee-deep into this manga. But overall, this website that I'm using is actually quite good. But let's just talk about Jin for a moment. In the last chapter, in chapter 50, he really started to pretty much embrace his role as a Shadow Lord, which is an ascended level higher than a regular Necromancer. Because as you remember, you remember that whole school movie, old movie trope where you say, as you know, all the time, as if we're supposed to know exactly. But his job class went from Necromancer to Shadow Lord, which is a higher class of Necromancer, during his job quests. And because he had those bonus points, he actually did really good enough to get that ascended class. And he managed to extract the shadows from the defeated knights, and it took some tries, but he managed to extract the shadow of Blood Red Commander Igris himself. So now Igris is under his command. But I came up with a new name for him because Jin, in the previous chapter, brought out Igris again in order to help him take on some ice bears that's in the Red Gate zone that they're in right now. They're locked inside of a Red Gate, and the only way they can get out is if they kill the boss. Or if the Red Gate decides to open. But Jin went off to go train and do his daily quests with the team that he's with because the other guy decided to go on ahead because, he decided to take all the strong people with him, thinking that Jin is weak. He's technically known as E rank, but his power is well beyond that, to be quite honest. So now we're here, and Jin, in the last chapter, on the last panel, he brought out Igris and a bunch of other shadow soldiers that he's extracted in order to take on a cave full of ice bears, which will, undoubtedly help him level up and make not only him, but his shadow soldiers stronger. So the new name, and it starts with Jin standing there, eyes glowing, as Igris and the other soldiers are standing around him on this chapter, on chapter 51. So Igris was formerly known as Blood Red Commander Igris. But with him being a shadow, a literal shadow of his former self, he's now jet black with glowing blue eyes. Everything about him is just jet black. So I decided to call him Jet Black Commander Igris because that's the color he is now, and he looks absolutely sick. It's amazing. But let's go on to move on to chapter 51. And as his soldiers stand behind him, Jin just says, "Go." Chapter 51! And it shows an ice bear roaring as Igris and the soldiers start to fight. And it shows one of the ice bears managing to hit one of the shadow soldiers, but jet black with some gray in him. Yeah, technically that's his color, but jet black is the predominant color on him now, so jet black Igris. But some ice bears are getting chopped apart by some soldiers, some of the shadow soldiers, and they're literally just going ham on these ice bears. And the thing is, some of the soldiers are getting hit, but they're being reformed. I mean, because shadows are a non-corporeal type state, at least in manga and media. So you technically can't destroy them, at least in this sense. So whenever they get hit, they just reform. Kind of like people who are brought back by a reanimation jutsu in Naruto. And then it shows Jin... No. Jet Black, it was a joke. It's all good, Kohagen. Also, Kohagen and I'm Sir, welcome. I forgot to acknowledge you guys. But, it shows one of the shadow magicians that he brought back charging up a spell as it pretty much hurls it at one of the ice bears. Magician with powerful firepower. Infantry with rapid regeneration. The strength of shadow soldiers is beyond my expectation. This unbelievable regeneration is almost comparable to immortality. It does consume massive amounts of mana, though. It is so ridiculous. It consumes mana, but this man can regenerate. And now it looks like we have the big boss of the Ice Bears. Not the boss of the Red Gate, but a higher ranked Ice Bear that comes out with a long black streak of fur on its back that kind of makes it look like a spine mohawk of some kind. Do bears even have that? Can you even classify mohawks on animals that have fur all over their bodies? Aside from... You know what? I'm thinking about this too much. But the leader of the Ice Bears comes out. Got a scar over his eye and a black line of fur going down his back. The leader appears. And the leader slashes at... the soldiers, and the MP just empties out, and I guess they're destroyed. Shadow soldiers are getting smashed in an instant and are no match. Mana has run out as well. Shadow soldiers can no longer regenerate due to lack of mana. So, all of his soldiers, they're not immortal, because they use their own magic points in order to regenerate their health. Though it consumes a lot of their mana, it's what keeps them going. So if they run out of that, and they don't regenerate after being dealt a deathly blow, they're gone. Gone. Then Igris, oh, it's so good to see Igris. Igris is so sick. There is always something lightly touching onto my eye. But Igris steps up. Oh my god, he looks so amazing in these panels. Igris steps up and he starts to walk towards the Ice Bear leader, and he pulls his sword out. It's so sick. And then he launches towards him. His black tattered cape just twirling behind him. And the Ice Bear leader tries to swipe at him, and in the process gets his entire right arm slashed through. No, yeah. Just cut off the entire left arm. Igris just cut it off, while also simultaneously flipping and landing on top of a tree trunk, just poising himself to deal the next blow. Then the Ice Bear leader tries to swipe at him again, and Igris embeds his sword into his other arm and rips that one too. And then Igris moving lightning fast, dashes behind the leader and cuts the tendons in both of his legs. And just decimates. Oh my goodness, Igris is so good! Whew, says Jin. And it just shows a soul panel as the ice bear, as the leader ice bear. I don't know why I kept calling him Ice Bear Leader. Ice Bear is the leader of these ice bears. But the leader is just covered in scars and blood and slashes as Igris just slowly walks away in front of him. But then the ice bear tries to launch at him, and Igris chops his head clean off. No effort, no question, just goes... and just sends the head flying off the shoulders into the... You know how much strength you have to decapitate a person and send their heads upwards instead of, off to the side? You know how much upward force you have to apply to decapitate a person and send their head flying up instead of horizontally? Lots of strength. So, yeah. The leader is dead. And Igris just walks away, no effort, carrying the head of the leader right next to him. Igris is so amazing. I would have stood no chance if Igris used his sword back then. At my current level, we're at equal footing. So Jin is very lucky that Igris decided to reciprocate when Jin wanted to fight him hand to hand. Because if Igris chose to use his sword, yeah, this entire story of solo leveling would have been cut very, very shortly. And Igris just drops the bear's head at his feet and kneels. Igris! Why are you such an amazing manga character and you have never said a single word? How? That is how you know there is such great character development. When you can make a character like this be so amazing and they never say a single thing, it's their actions that depict their character and just how awesome they are. You know how to make some great characters. And then he's thinking that me and Igris are on an equal footing, and then he says, "No, is he above me?" Name Sung Jin Woo, level 52. You've done well. Time to turn him into my shadow soldier as well. Arise. And Jin extracts the shadow from the leader Ice Bear. You have successfully extracted the shadow. And now he has a jet black Ice Bear on his side now. It's like, dude, oh my goodness. This is why necromancer classes are so overpowered in certain video games. Because they can do stuff like this. Shadow monster level 1. And not only did he raise the leader Ice Bear, he raised all the others that were killed as well. So now he has shadow monsters, shadow bears, and this big, giant, glowing black bear is just in front of him. What chapter? I just got back. I'm still on 51, and Jin has just raised the Ice Bear leader after Igris decapitated him. Good. And then we have White Tiger still standing out, and then we cut back to the outside of the Red Gate with White Tiger and his employees with him, with his guildmates there. How long has it been? About 3 hours. It's already been 3 days inside. I wonder how many are still alive. You should throw away any hope of normal environment past the Red Gate. Skin burning under the harsh sunlight, being pestered endlessly by poisonous bugs, or skin rotting due to the severe cold. As such, the weak will die first. Oh God! Even if they adapt to the environment, they must secure food next. They could attempt to feed off the monsters' corpses, but the gate is too high leveled for low-tier hunters. C-rank or lower hunters must all be dead by now. Meanwhile, then Sung Jin Woo must also be dead. Did I just end up wasting my time in vain? Because remember, Dong Su is still there. No, wait. You're saying that Sung Jin-woo isn't part of the White Tiger Guild. Then how did he end up in there? And everyone is just looking at him like, you want to tell him? He's my old acquaintance. He asked if he could take part in a C-rank raid, and I reluctantly introduced him here. Jifan Sungmin is covering for Hunter Sung Jin-woo. Does that mean exposing him is that problematic? Not to mention that S-rank Hwan Dong-soo from overseas also knows about this E-rank's existence. Then there's nothing else I can do, is what you thought I'd say. Okay, Dong-soo just basically... He was already a considerable distance away from, like, White Tiger and the other White Tiger Guild members, but he just blitzed straight over to the chief and has him in a chokehold now. Then there's nothing else I can do, is what you thought I'd say. For a long time, I've been talented in fighting interesting situations, and I can feel something fishy here. Tell me the truth. What are you hiding? And before that happens, his arm is grabbed. Hwang Dong-soo, take your hand off my employee. Are you ordering me? Someone who's playing leader in a backyard. What? And then there's an explosion of power, which I think is coming off of White Tiger himself. No, if this continues, S-ranks will end up facing each other, because they're both S-rank hunters. Who is this? I see... Oh! Uh-oh. I know whose shield that is. Well, it seems we've found the boss of the Red Gate. And he's currently munching on the other team's members that went in with Jin. That's in the care of the A-rank hunter, Kim Chul. No way. Kim Chul have failed. And he's standing there as... Because the thing that's pretty much killing the rest of his men are basically just giant ice monkeys. And they're just killing everybody. He's got scars over him. He's missing his helmet. His sword's broke. His big giant shield is broken. Kim Chul have failed. There's no way. I am someone who would be one of White Tiger's elites. Save me, Captain! I even received a special coaching to become an elite, but I failed? I can't accept this. Food. If only I had food. Lack of food shouldn't be my fault. No, it's my responsibility as a captain, right? I am the captain. And not only do they... Oh, someone got hit by an ice arrow, which means that not only is Kim Chul having to deal with giant ice monkeys eating his men, but he's also got to worry about the Snow Elves as well. Yucky. And they are all around him. There's a lot of those Hyaki around. Hyaki? Right after Yeti? Oh, so they're Yeti. They're Yeti. They're not giant ice monkeys. They're Yeti. Kind of wondering what the difference is from my description. Hyaki right after Yeti? Captain! And before one of the last remaining people that's alive can say anything else, their head is impaled by a dagger from one of the other Hyaki who are there. And Kim Chul is by himself. Ah! And he takes off running. That's him yelling. But it looks like there's a leader of those Snow Elves because there's one on a horse in this panel, in the next panel. Glowing eyes just like the elves themselves. And that's the end of chapter 52. So not only does Jin have to worry about the Yeti, but he has to be concerned with the Snow Elves and their leader, which could be the boss of this Red Gate. So if Jin can take down the leader of this gate, then they can get out. But that doesn't necessarily mean that his troubles are over, because Dong Su's out there. But onwards to chapter 52. Oh, I'm enjoying this so much. And we're here at chapter 52. They're giving us a recap of the images. Kim Jewel runs off as the Snow Elves, and what appears to be their leader stands there in front of them. Chapter 52! And there's huffing and huffing. Okay, it's Kim Jewel. He's by himself. Due to the cold. No. If I don't survive, if I didn't starve for days, I wouldn't have been defeated. Yeah, he's just walking. I was wondering why I haven't spotted a single ice bear after entering the forest. And it catches his eye because there's a whole bunch of dead ice bears, which, more than likely, are from where Jin massacred them all with his ice soldiers in Igris. No way. Did those guys? No, they don't have the skills. It must have been Hyuki. There must be Hyuki nearby. Darn it, I need to quickly get away. And it shows White Tiger increasing his power outside of the Red Gate. We're back outside again. And he's slowly starting to transform because his fingers now have grown claws. You want to go? Anytime. Because White Tiger and Dong Su are pretty much raring to go fight each other right here, right now. And White Tiger braces his hand, and Dong Su braces his hand. And they both punch at each other, and the force of the blow craters the ground and sends a massive shockwave out. This is the power of S-rank hunters. The shockwave is immense as it blows the air around them away. Not too shabby to be able to stop us. Yo, it's Wu! How the heck did Wu catch them? Wu just came in here and stopped them both. Though the sleeves of his clothes kind of got destroyed in the process, that's the only thing that got damaged. Wu just came in and stopped two S-rank hunters from hitting one another. What is Wu like? Good God, where'd you come from, man? And he's not even as big as they are. And he just pulled an Angeal in the middle of a Genesis versus Sephiroth type fight. Like, bruh. If both of you hadn't reduced your strength in time, my arms would have been broken. I was the one to first suspect Sung Jin Woo with reawakening. However, after testing him with magic power detector of highest grade 2 months ago, he was still in E rank. There's no way. It's unfortunate that Hunter Huang Donsuke has passed away, but Sung Jin Woo doesn't have the ability to wipe out an attack force. I know. If they prepared a trap, the culprit must have been from Jin Architectures. Then there's no reason to obsess over Hunter Sung Jin Woo. It's just an excuse to kill another human being. This Dong Su dude is crazy. Alright, I've lost my excitement. I'll just head to bed. And he just walks off. What? Is this your first time witnessing S-ranks clashing with each other? I know Sung Jin Woo's ability better than anyone. The chief is thinking to himself right now, like, even though Wu is kind of covering for Jin, the chief knows that Jin is far stronger than he appears. If it's him, he'll definitely come back alive. So, the chief is the only one with the absolute confidence that Jin is going to make it out completely alive. And then it shows Jin's group just sitting around, just chilling. They chilling in safety. It's nice, isn't it? It's nice to be safe. But Kim Chul is walking in and he's wondering what's going on. Just what has happened? They're all low-rank hunters. How are they still alive? Warm clothing, blankets, tents, and all sorts of goods. There's also food. If my hands weren't frozen, no, if my stomach was full, I could have easily fought against Hyuki. They prepared all these supplies and kept it only to themselves. These guys. Definitely can't say that. Jin activated a cheat code when he died. He activated 10 times fast leveling, and he basically opened up a developer's menu for himself. You Jax! Kim Jewel, how did you get here? My attack force has been wiped out due to lack of food and equipment, but how do you guys have all these supplies? Why can't you speak? Did your mouth get sewn shut? I don't think you're all accomplices. Who hid all these supplies? I'll let this go if you reveal the culprit. I'm talking the one who hid. I'm talking about I feel like an extra word should be in there. I'm talking the one who hid the equipment and left their comrades to die. Miss Hee-Jin. I'll count to 3. If you don't reveal the culprit by then, I'll consider all of you as accomplices. That big guy is dumb for splitting up. That's what happens when that is what happens when a person who has a position of power versus a power of position. Now, mind you, he's still strong, but arrogance can really hamper the mind when it's not tempered. And Kim Jewel is an example of an untempered, arrogant mind. He thinks that just because he's strong, that means that he should never take in consideration that someone else, regardless of their rank, could possibly be stronger, or that people have a percent chance of surviving despite the odds. That's his problem. Never foresaw that these guys could actually survive, and now that pretty much he's the only surviving member of his attack force who's left, he's now looking at them like, these guys cheated. What happened? Why is it that they're all eating and they're safe, and they have warm clothes, and they have food, and yet my attack force went off on its own with no preparation, and we all died? It's not fair for them to have all that stuff when my attack force, which was ill-prepared to go on by itself, went off and got killed off except for me. But it's their fault for hoarding all the supplies. See? You see how dumb that sounds? Blaming other people for your own negligence and arrogance. This isn't going to go well for him if Jin shows up and he's trying to harass his team. I'll count to 3. If you don't reveal the culprit by then, I'll consider all of you as accomplices. 1, 2, and he draws his sword. I see. That girl must have volunteered to leave because she had some sort of plot. She must have left since she lacked the confidence to survive by herself and tried to minimize the headcount in order to preserve the food supply. The culprit is you, Parky Jin. 3, 4. And then... Oh my goodness, Jin! Kim Jewel says 3, and then Jin is behind him and says 4, and slaps the heck out of this man so hard he face plants into the ground. He just was like 4. Pap! And knocked him down. Oh, I knew Jin was gonna... Wait. He didn't just knock him into the ground. He knocked him into the ground with enough force for him to skid across the ground and hit a tree. Whew. Jin Ho! Raid Captain! Who was it that actually left their comrades to die? Not to mention you came back with dead weight. What dead weight? How about you guys undo your stealth? Due to your powerful energy, hiding is pointless. Oh? Are there people with him? Those are... What a chilling energy. That's the boss. Yo! The Hayaki followed him. Including the... Yep, I called it. That elf on the horse is the boss. But the Ice Elves followed him. I know I keep switching between Hyaki and Ice Elves. I'm just going to stick with Ice Elves for the sake of continuity. They followed Kim Jewel all the way back to Jin's camp. And now, a bunch of Snow Elves and the Snow Elf boss is there. Which means the fight's about to start. That's the boss. Ice Elves! And with those numbers, There must be over 20. Oh, and he's speaking. Okay. I gotta do a Snow Elf voice. There really was one. A useful guy among the trashes. What? Did you just call us trashes? Huh? You know our language. Huh? How is conversation possible? Can you also speak with monsters? Is this also an effect from the system? To be able to converse. How splendid. There's someone I want to introduce. And he brings up a Snow Elf, which just happens to be the same Snow Elf that did the "you guys are gonna die" slit throats gesture near the beginning of this whole encounter. You're already acquaintances. He's the one who notified us that there is a someone strong among the humans. This guy wanted to face off with you, so... Wow. It actually took me a moment to fully comprehend what just happened in this panel. He's speaking. The boss of the Snow Elves is speaking. And I was wondering, how come I can't see the other Snow Elves' head all of a sudden? And I was wondering, like, wait, where's his head at? And it took me a moment to realize that before the bots could even stop speaking, Jin done already cut that Snow Elf's head off. This guy wanted to face off with you, so before he can even finish, the guy's head is off. The same Snow Elf that wanted to face off with Jin was decapitated before the boss Snow Elf could even finish speaking. And Jin is just standing past the Snow Elf boss as the guy that wanted to face him just falls to his knees with at least 40 pounds of extra fat missing from his top shoulders. Anything else to say? And the boss doesn't say anything. It's nice that he doesn't immediately get irate and mad. It's nice to see level-headed. Never mind. I just looked at the next panel, and he smiles with like a death smile on his face. Like Speed of Sound Sonic did when he was facing off against Saitama, yet another person who has that face in this manga. You're an amusing guy. And that is the end of Chapter 52. Chapter 52. Onwards to Chapter 53. Cut the head off. The boss is smiling. Chapter 53. And they immediately start clashing with each other. Jin is fighting him with his soldier killer dagger. He's not willing to give up his life so easily. I have a proposal. It won't be detrimental to you. But first, let me ask you a question. And he actually gets off his horse and starts walking towards Jin. Despite not being a human, why are you among the humans? What the heck are you talking about? Are you not aware of it? In our heads, there's a constant voice speaking to us to kill humans, but I cannot hear the voice in your presence. A voice telling them to kill humans? Is it similar to the system's orders? If the voice doesn't apply to me, it must be due to becoming a player through the system. There's no need for us to fight. We do not want unnecessary casualties in our end. Hand over the humans behind you. Then I will spare your life. How about it? Yo, he wants all of Jin's teammates that are behind him in exchange for Jin's life? It's not going to go the way he thinks. Let me ask you a question as well. Who are you guys? Where did you come from and why are you trying to kill humans? We are... And before that, he glitches out and repeats the same line. There's no need for us to fight. We do not want unnecessary casualties in our end. Hand over the humans behind you, then I'll spare your life. So he just repeated his same line again. What? Just now? Is he avoiding my question, or... How about it? Do you accept our proposal And the boss elf just smiles as all the rest of his cohorts beside him just start smiling as well. And Jin says, "I refuse. Do you plan on fighting me and my soldiers? Do you think you withstand our numbers by yourself?" Numbers? What numbers? As he says that as his shadows release the ice bears and Igris. Yo, the power of the Shadow Lord. What is this? Monsters! Monsters suddenly appeared! Black soldiers and black ice bears? No way. Is this also Sung Jin Woo's? Everyone is nervous as monsters just stands up behind all of them. I'm sorry. Jin is so cool. Dude, you don't even know. It's so awesome. And the boss elf says, "What a cheap trick." Is it a cheap trick? As he sends all of his soldiers against the ice elves and they just start to kill them all. I don't see Igris, which means that there's no ice elves that are worth Igris' time. But then Jin starts to run off. "Retreat! It's not a battle we can get ourselves involved in." Calling it a cheap trick wasn't a bluff. Despite the advantage in numbers, I cannot maintain my army for long. They may be immortal, but the numbers will diminish if they keep getting destroyed. Since I leveled them up, they should be able to handle ice elves, but he's the problem. And the boss is not having much trouble just fighting the shadow soldiers. Just from a glance, I can tell that he's stronger. It'll be tough even if Igris and I team up. An ordinary soldier won't do. I need a stronger shadow. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Did he just straight up kill Kim Chul? Because Kim Chul is he dead? Did Jin hit him so hard he sent him careening headfirst into a tree and that killed him? Because he looks at Kim Chul's body. You know, the guy that wanted to kill Jin's team for handing over the supplies. Did he just straight up kill him just by backhanding him in the back of the head? And then making him hit the tree? Because why else would he be looking at him? Unless he's already dead that he can raise. I didn't even notice. I thought he just knocked him out. But the dude might actually be dead. I need a stronger shadow. My name is Baruka. What is yours? Sung Jin Woo. And then Jin just steps over the sword and uses sprint and dashes straight over to where the boss is and leaps at him. But the boss easily avoids the hit before Jin can try and bring his dagger up. The boss tries to step on the dagger, but Jin draws it back. Like, recalls it so that he can't step on it, and then recalls it back again in order to stab at his face, but Baruka, might as well call him Baruka because that's his name, but Baruka easily blocks it with his own ice dagger. Then Jin comes around and tries to hit him again, but Baruka's constantly blocking all of his hits and proceeds to knee Jin in his side, sending him flying away. But Jin, with his high agility stat, flips out. He does an air recovery. How many games have we seen in the past that have air recovery when you get knocked back? Incredible Hulk, other games. God, I miss Hulk. God, I miss Hulk games. Good ones. I don't include Avengers because, well, you've seen the state that's in. As of right now, Marvel Avengers has lost 96% of its player base. The game hasn't even been out a full 4 months. And it only has 4% of people still playing it. Good lord. Uruki Zimetse. Welcome. Nice to see you. Nice to meet you again. Pardon me, but I'm drawing a blank. Were you here on my previous solo leveling streams? I see a lot of different names come up, so it's kind of tricky for me to remember some, especially with one's name as extravagant as yours. So apologies, but welcome back nonetheless. We are on chapter 53 of Solo Leveling. Let me check my camera. Camera's still good. You guys can still see me. That's good. And I still have a bunch of light because it's nice and clear outside. But Jin backflips away from an air recovery while the boss starts speaking again. It's been a while since I had this much excitement. And then there's something falls out of the sky. I was in your stream before because my name was Zenitsu1 before. I figured as much. I knew it felt familiar. But there's something in the sky above the Ice Elf boss. And, oh, it was a giant fireball launched by one of the magicians. Thanks to my magician, I gained some time. Now, oh, okay, Kim Chul is up. He's alive. He's not dead. He's alive. That last voice, it was definitely Sung Jin Woo. That jerk. Because all he remembers is hearing the word 4 and then getting knocked the heck out. But he notices his sword next to him. Oh, kill him. Dude, now is not the time for you to be stupid. Alright, you're in the middle of a fight between Jin and the boss of the entire gate, and you want to kill the one guy who's capable of getting you out alive. Like I said, arrogance clouds the mind. And as Jin looks on as the massive fireball is blazing in front of him, Jin says, "There's no way he died from that. Stop wasting time and come out." And the Ice Elf boss, why do I keep calling him the Ice Elf boss? His name is Baruka. Baruka. Baruka is just chilling in the flames, just like the Ice King did when Drogon tried to fry him in the 3rd episode of Season 8 of Game of Thrones. Literally, the only time you could see light in that whole episode was when Drogon was breathing fire. Everything else was like, you know how they did with Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, when everything was super dark and you couldn't see anything? Let's do that for that episode. But Baruka... Yo, Shonen Sensei with the donation. Good God, dude. Oh, my goodness. I'm always going to be surprised when that happens. To think that I have gotten to a point in my life where people do that for me. Do that not only for me, but because you guys think I'm worthy of it. I am so sorry that I'm taking a moment right here, but thank you, Shonen Sensei. That really does mean a lot. It's like, wow. I am humbled by the gesture. I really am. Thank you guys. You guys help keep this channel entertaining, and every bit helps me get further and further into, doing this full time. So welcome, Shonen Sensei, dropping in like an atom bomb out of nowhere with that donation. Good God, man, that's surprising. Welcome! We're on chapter 53 as Jin faces off against Baruka. But Baruka walks out of the flame saying, "Is this the limit of your soldiers?" Yeah, Baruka just dashes towards him. Jin does not move at all, but then he launches towards him. Sung Jin Woo! Die! Sung Jin Woo! Kim Chul, what are you doing? Kim is trying to backstab, is trying to kill Jin while Baruka's dashing at him. It seems I'm not the only one after your head. But there's a surprise. Kim Chul, just as I predicted. Igris. Yeah! Oh, it is so awesome to see Igris! He just says Igris and the whole world stops as Igris appears behind him. And before Kim Chul can do anything, before he can even get anywhere near Jin, Igris just holds out his sword and impales him in the chest. Oh my goodness. Igris. Igris, you are literally one of the best manga characters I have ever seen. You know, the amount of hype I feel whenever Igris is on screen was the same amount of hype I felt when Katakuri introduced himself and we saw more of Katakuri during the Whole Cake Island arc of One Piece. That is the level of hype Igris brings. Like, every time you see him, it is a godlike moment. This dude, who never speaks a word, just steals every scene he's in. And then all we can see is just the reaction from Kim Chul being, you know, impaled through the midsection. And the thing is, he's just holding him up. Like, do you know how much strength you have in order to wield a giant great sword up in the air one-handed and also have a human body embedded on it itself? And just hold it in the air like, you dare assault my master? You're not even worth killing. Just like I told you guys, it's a whole Albedo Angel Gon situation. If you can't beat Igris, you can't get to Jin. Period. And then Kim Chul just starts coughing up blood. Sung Jin, you. And Igris just looks at him with flaming blue eyes. Oh my goodness, every time Igris is on, since the beginning, you predicted this. And Jin just looks at him. Darn it. And Jin just looks back at Baruka. How interesting, but nothing will change. Arise. Oh, wait. He kills Kim Chul. And then he raises Kim Chul. Another person to add to his collection. I love this manga. I love this manga so much. It's ridiculous. But that's the end of chapter 53. On to 54. I must know more. Tell me more about your exploits. There's no point in hiding. And then Igris swipes at Baruka. And Baruka easily dodges it. And Jin just stands there as he tries to raise Kim. Arise. Chapter 54! And there's a scream coming from Kim Chul. And he raises full... Oh! You have successfully extracted the shadow of A-rank hunter Kim Chul! Did he get bigger? So the people he raises, they grow in size. So not only does Kim Chul come back, but he comes back fully clothed in all his gear. Both his giant Stormbreaker axe hammer thing and his massive shield. It's all back. Yo, the power of a Shadow Lord is immense. Please choose a name for the soldier. Kim Chul. No, since he's Chul, you're now Iron. Yo! Iron and Igris. So sick. Iron, level 1, rank Knight. That is so majestic. I love it all. So now Jin has Igris and the shadow of Kim Chul on his side. Stop getting distracted. Do you think this lone soldier is enough to stop me? Did he slice the arm off of Igris? I mean, I'm sure he did, but it's not going to do much. He'll just regenerate. Did you think this lone soldier is enough to stop me? Of course not. Yo, and then Iron has used skill Taunting Cry. Yo, he's aggroing. He's aggroing Baruka. Dungeon boss has been taunted. Yo, it worked. Iron has used the taunt on him, and now he's drawn to aggro. Oh. Jin now has a tank under his control. Yo, it's like he keeps adding on to people that makes it more difficult for him to get killed. It's ridiculous. Another amusing guy has shown up. I'll cut you down first. And Baruka tries to go and take on Iron, but Iron blocks it with his shield. Then he flips over him. This slow soldier is no match for me. Oh, wow. This is such a hype. This is such a hype panel right now. While Iron is, recoiling from attacking, because, tanks are heavy. While he's recoiling from the attack, both Igris and Jin come out from both sides, and they both start to blitz him. Is that so? How about all three of us? Yo, Jin! Miss He Jin, are all hunters fights like this? If that was the case, I would have never got my license. I've never heard or seen such a thing. Are we in a dream right now? And it just shows, not only, the thing is, the Ice Elves are still fighting the Shadow Soldiers. But Jin and Iron and Igris are all just fighting. And not to mention the Ice Bear leaders out there as well. So they're just looking at the Snow Elves fighting the fodder soldiers and the bears. But Jin, Igris, and Iron are fighting against Baruka on their own. It is so amazing. Yo, these panels. Igris launching out with his sword with his hand in front of him. Beautifully drawn. Then we have him trying to shove his sword in the direction of Baruka, and it almost hits him. It manages to cut into his clothing, so that means that either Igris is getting faster or Baruka is getting slower. And Jin gets him! Jin gets him with his dagger! The Rasaka Fang! Effect Paralysis has activated. Effect Bleed has activated. To be able to dodge a fatal strike in this situation. And then Baruka jumps away. You trash are quite persistent. The enemy's resistance was too high, the effect was cancelled. You can't deny that you've actually been hit, though. You're not in the position to say such a thing. How about you look around? And Baruka just looks around as pretty much the vast majority of the Ice Elves have all been massacred. Pretty much. Is that all your soldiers can do? You jerk. You fool. Those soldiers will all vanish when I get rid of you. And Jin throws his dagger at Baruka. Throwing away your weapon, you... Oh, let's call back to the Dominator's touch. Active skill, no mana required. You can control objects without touching them. And as this dagger is flying, he makes it so that it just, flies faster. Telekinesis is so useful. It's accelerating. And it hits Baruka's dagger, and it shatters it. And then we have Iron popping up behind Baruka and getting him in a massive bear hug. Then it shows all of Jin's shadow magicians bracing as they cause a massive explosion to happen right where Baruka was. Now, Iron has him in a grip, but then he's lets go as Baruka, we disconnected. Okay, we're good. We're good. Let me just dial that back. Let me dial that back real quick. But Baruka has him in a bear hug. And all the shadow magicians that Jin has all gather their power as it causes a massive explosion where Baruka was. And we see the shadow of Iron there. But then we see Baruka break away from Iron's hold, saying, "You insolent fools! I'll kill you all!" But then there's a slash in the side of Baruka, as we see Jin using stealth to stab him in the side. Yo, Jin used the same move that they used to hide themselves to slash Baruka in the side with his dagger. So slick. Looks like this is the end. But then Baruka grabs his wrist. Who do you think you're facing? But in that instance, we see Iron. Oh, in such a majestic looking panel. There is so much artistry and amazing detail in all of these panels. But Iron is behind him, readying his Stormbreaker to come right down onto Baruka. And he uses the blunt side to smash Baruka straight into the ground. Just straight up Reinhardt hammer downed him. I already told you, this is the end. The dungeon boss has been slain, and Jin leveled up multiple times. It's finally over. And all of his teammates that are with him just watch on. As Iron continues to smash the body of Baruka. Hey, stop it already! Despite becoming a shadow, he's still a dunce. Take it easy. I worry about the future. And Iron, can only just watch on. And okay. Iron and Igris both look at each other. And then Igris is all like, he literally just blows his breath like, dude, really? So much conveyed emotion from characters that don't speak. Igris just looks at him and is like, what are we gonna do with you? And he just walks away, and then Iron is just looking at him like, what did I do? And then Iron just looks at... There's so much personality with these shadows. Who knew that you could have so much personality with reanimated shadows? I love Jin's power even more now. Because now we have a dynamic. Now we have a group dynamic with his own soldiers. And then Iron just looks at some others, regular soldiers, and he's all like, "Ah!" And then the other soldiers are just like pumping their fists in the air, like, "Yeah, we did it!" And it's all like, "Yes, I got friends." Like, dude, what can I say about this right now? I don't know if I'm overhyping this or not, but the way that these characters are just, their character is told through their movements and abilities. And it's like, and their actions, without even actually speaking to one another, and you get the feeling of so much personality in each individual character. The art in solo leveling is so good, sometimes it plays like an anime in my head. By the way, there are rumors of an anime coming in 2021. Yes. Is not only that, doing its anime, the entire 1,000-year Blood War arc is getting animated next year. So, yeah, we're not only going to be able to see the Stern Ritters animated, but we're also going to see Kenpachi's Bankai. Wait, is it buffering again? Are we having an issue? Yep. Are we still dropping frames? Why are you still dropping frames? Why are you still dropping frames? This is really, really annoying. Are we good now? Do we have contact? Are we good? Can we continue? Seems to still be dropping some frames here and there. And when I say dropping some frames, the number of drop frames has entered into 4 digits. Stream delayed by 20 seconds. Are we now? We are almost done. We only got like 4 chapters left. What in the world? Everything good? Are we still stable? Why does it keep dropping frames? What is the... Frame rate on point. I want to make sure before I continue, because I hate to be reading through an entire paragraph and then nothing else is running smoothly. I want to be doubly sure. You guys know how I roll. I like to do things in excellence, especially when I'm reading to you guys. All right. It appears stable. Let's keep going before anything else happens. All right, so where did I stop off? I stopped off when it showed Jin, telling Iron not to... It's good now? Okay, good. So let me just dial it back a little bit. Despite becoming a shadow, he's still a dunce. Take it easy. I worry about the future. And then Iron looks at Igris like, what'd I do wrong? And then Igris looks at him and is all like, dude, really, just chill. And then Igris walks off, and Iron looks at him like, huh? I don't understand what's going on here. Then he looks at other soldiers, and he's all like, yeah, we won! And then the soldiers cheer with him. And now we're caught up. Let's go back. Go back? As the gate opens to let them all out. Outside the gate. We can finally go home! Now, this guy. And as he stands in front of Baruka, who's down now. And that is the end of chapter 54. Onwards to chapter 55, while the connection is still good. And it shows everyone standing outside the gate. It's already 3 a.m. It must have been a week inside the gate. How about Master head home first while we keep watch? How could I rest at home when my members are stuck in there? I'll wait until morning. And the gate starts to open up. Huh? The red gate! The red gate is opening! The dungeon has been cleared! People are coming out! Kim Chul? Did Kim Chul succeed? Hunter Park Ji Hee Jin! Hunter Go Myung Hwan and Yoon Ki Jun! They came back! They survived! Hunter Sung Jin Woo! Just as I thought. The gate is gone! Kim Chul! What happened to Kim Chul? No way. These are all the survivors?
Yes, it's just us.
Only the low-rank hunters have survived. No A rank and only a single B rank? Just what happened inside? Let's go. I'll drive you home. Hold it. Let's talk for a bit. I'm currently tired. If you got something to ask, go ask your guild members. And then White Tiger's all like, no, this boy didn't, and grabs his shoulder again. This wasn't a request. I am Jin Ho, the guild master of White Tiger. An order, or perhaps a threat. We have lost 9 guild members from this incident. As the master, shouldn't I be allowed to ask some questions? So what? I saved the remaining 3 people. If you're the master, shouldn't you thank me first? And they both just glare at each other with glowing eyes. I was being too difficult. You're right. I apologize. And then Jin just drives away. Miss Park Hee-jin.
Yes?
Who is he? And why is he so irritated?
I'm not sure. After he killed the boss, he shouted something 3 times in front of the corpse and then...
Oh, I get it. He's mad because he couldn't raise Baruka. He shouted something 3 times in front of the corpse and then, yeah, he couldn't raise the Snow Elf boss. That's why he's irritated. I'm sorry, Master. It must be because he's tired. He's not a bad person. No, that's not the problem. Why haven't you recruited him yet? Huh? To be so confident against me, I should be prepared to lose an arm in a fight against him. Hurry it up. Now. I will do my best. That's not enough. I will give you my complete support, bringing that man over to our guild at all costs. My eyes weren't wrong. Understood. And as Jin is driving, he's just thinking, was it due to our difference in strength? You have yep, just like I said, he failed to raise Baruka, that's why he's irritated. Was it due to our difference in strength? You have failed all 3 attempts. Shadow extraction is no longer possible. What a waste. But he did walk away with Baruka's dagger. Baruka's dagger. Item class A. Type dagger. A dagger wielded by the great warrior Baruka. The lightweight magic enhancement will make the wielder more agile. So it adds 110 attack. It has 110 attack and plus 10 agility. I was glad I was able to attain this at least. And as Jin goes home, you did well.
Get home safe.
Okay.
Hey, Oppa.
Oppa?
Thank you for today. No, tomorrow? No. I'll see you later.
Later? Ah, it's already past midnight. Because, it's 3 o'clock in the morning and he's been in there for a minute. It's back to reading with Jin Ho starting today. And as the next day passes, there's... Oh no, I know who this is. I see extravagant armor and something else. Is that here? You took a cab with those? I was planning on picking you up. That's just like you. And of course, Jin Ho manages to pop up with some extravagant armor once again. An extravagant pauldron, not pauldron. I meant to say pauldron. A Spartan-like helmet, almost. It's not exactly Spartan-like, but it has the plumage like it. But at least he's not just dressed head to toe. Young Mim is the one helping me, so I should be the one to come over. Let us depart. On the way there, let's pick up someone. Bro, he has so much armor. He does. Can he give me some armor just so I can walk back and forth and saying like, yeah, this is nice to have. On the way there, let's pick someone up. Huh? Who? Song Yi. Come out. I'll give you a lift. Song Yi? By Song Yi, do you mean... Right. He knows her number and is able to hold a friendly conversation. Do Song Yi and Hyung Nim have a deep relationship? We've arrived, Hyung Nim. Oppa is Oni-chan in Korean. I figured as much.
Young Nim, do I have to start calling Song Yi as sister-in-law from now on? What? She's just my sister's friend. Good morning, Oppa.
Okay, her clothes clearly changed from, being dressed in a hoodie and dressed down, and now she's dressed up in a lot more. She cleaned up, okay? She kind of cleaned up.
Good morning, Ray Captain.
Ah, hello.
Did you get some sleep last night?
Did you get some sleep last night?
I was unable to sleep.
You must be tired. Get some rest in the car. And then Jin Ho is just looking on like, what is going on right there?
How about you, Oppa?
Just a quick nap. It was already past 4 a.m. when I got home.
Well...
Night? Unable to sleep? Tired? He got home at 4 a.m.? And he just said she was just a friend of his sister. Oh, he's jumped to conclusions. He thought that Jin had one of those nights. Young Nim? Yeah? Han Sung-yi is a minor. And? Never mind. He's not normal. I shouldn't judge young Nim with my ordinary standards. Let's hurry and finish it up. Yes, Young Nim!
Yes, Oppa.
And that concludes the end of chapter 55. And Jin Ho is already jumping to conclusions, all because of misunderstandings of words. Such an anime trope. Such an anime manga trope. But to chapter 56, we cut to a cave. And it shows a stone golem forming? Or being blown apart? Young Nim? What are these guys? Jonathan Endale, welcome to the stream. We are on chapter. Why he called Jin Hyung Nim, I don't know. It might come up later. Shonen Sensei might know. But they're in a new dungeon, and Jin is just letting his soldiers just wreak havoc. The regular soldiers, then you got Igris, and then you got Iron off to the side. My goodness. What are these guys? This is the first time for Jin Ho. It's my skill. You can summon these guys with a skill? It's a bit too complicated to explain, but it's convenient. They can hunt for me. They can also do chores. As it shows, soldiers are just mining the crystals while others are fighting. Double tasking, reaping the benefits of a dungeon has never become so much more easier. Young Nim, can I at least collect the magic crystals? Why? I feel like I have lost my place. He really is amusing. With this raiding with Jin Ho, with this raids with Jin Ho should be finished tomorrow. Thank you. And he's saying thank you as he just kneels beside one of the soldiers as they hand him crystals. Is all like, this is the least I can do. Thank you for the crystals. As the soldiers are just looking at him like, dude, you alright? They don't actually look that way, but I kind of feel that that's what they would be saying in this moment at this point in time. And the next day, the promise with Jin Ho to clear 19 raids has finished. Eastern United States, A-rank dungeon. Hyung Nim is a term of endearment among close friends in Korea, kind of like Japanese honorifics chan or gun. Okay, sweet. So it seems that Jin Ho considers himself, they're both close enough for, them to be on very friendly terms with those type of honorifics then. Or san. Awesome. So now you learn something new every day. Oppa is akin to Oni-chan in Japanese for Korea, and Hyung Nim is a term of endearment that is among close friends along the lines of chan, kun, or san when it comes to people's names now. So it's good to know. But we're here in the Eastern United States, the side of the U.S. that gives you the side of the United States that gives you 4 different times to get a PS5, and you can't get any one of them because the system goes down when you go to place an order for the system. Sorry, this is a personal thing. This happened when I tried to go that other day and get myself a PS5. Every time I got down to place order, it ran into an oh dear error message, and I couldn't get it. Even when I was about to hit place order!
I was denied, but I will not be deterred. I will get that system. Sorry, little tidbit there. All because it said Eastern United States. A-rank dungeon, and there's a yell going in there. Jesus. James, A-rank hunter. Attack force got annihilated. I can't believe it. Who is this dude? Human-type monster? We couldn't find a single monster throughout the dungeon. I thought something was up, but to think such a monster would appear in the boss room. Magic flowing out from a single monster is equal to an A-rank dungeon? It's impossible. Just how strong is this monster? Hey. Don't come any closer! Ow, my ears hurt. Don't worry, I didn't kill them. I only knocked them out. No. Why did you guys attack me so suddenly? I'm not a monster. I'm a human. He can't understand me. Well, not like a Yankee can understand me. I'm Korean. I want to go home. Wait a minute. So, there's a regular human, well, I say regular, and I say that with air quotes. There's a dude just chilling in an A-rank dungeon who's Korean, who cannot be understood by the American dudes who are there. I mean, that's not a surprise. And with this, and then we cut back to a eatery of some type. And with this, the raids are over. I'm sorry, young Nim. I wanted to take you somewhere more luxurious for our last time. No, I'm rather worried that this doesn't suit the taste of young master from a rich household. What do you plan on doing from now on? A harmful substance has been detected. What do you plan on doing from now on since the raids are over? Detox has been completed. This man is just chilling, just drinking, and his body is breaking it up so much that it cannot stick. Remember that episode from The Flash where his metabolism is so quick that he can't even get drunk or even feel the effects of alcohol? That's Jin. It breaks down anything harmful to his body and he gets to drink anything and never get drunk. I can get my Guildmaster license as soon as I finish a simple paper exam from the association. Then I'll go have a talk with my father about the license. And my promise with young Nim is riding on it. It's nice to receive a 30 billion building, but that's just a bonus. My goal was to level up. Since I have met my goal, there's no need for me to hang around any longer. Alright, we have an update to Sung Jin-woo's page. Name, Sung Jin-woo. Level 61. Job, Shadow Monarch. Alright, so these pages have actually updated it from Shadow Lord to Shadow Monarch now. So I remember you saying that it's mistranslated from the chapter where it introduced that, and it here in this site, the first time it was introduced, it called it Shadow Lord, but then Shonen said it was Shadow Monarch. So now the subsequent pages are saying that correctly now. So now it's listing him as Shadow Monarch now. So it's good that you said that, Shonen Sensei, because now it's here permanently. Level 61, job, Shadow Monarch, title, The One Who Overcame Adversity. I knew it! I knew that's what it was! Because in those other pages, it kept saying the one who overcame adversary. But I knew it was one who overcame adversity. And it says it correctly here. And I haven't even changed websites. This is the same one. So they must have corrected it. Hit points, 13,000. Magic points, 1677 with no fatigue. Strength, 142. Agility, 121. Senses, 103. Vitality, 101. Intelligence, 89, and AP 0. Physical damage reduction at 46%. But what will Young Min do from now on? Oh, he still has the key to the Demon Castle. Yo, does he think he's strong enough to take on that castle now? It's been a while since we saw him enter into that place and then use a Hearthstone to get out. Because he only fought the Cerberus. But he hasn't gone deeper to see if he's strong enough to take on the entire castle now. But yeah, here's the key. Castle door key, item class A. A key that can open the demon castle's door, obtained by killing the gatekeeper. I'll be out of contact for a while. There's somewhere I have to go. Oh, you're gonna take it on. Is it strong enough? Young Nim, if I'm a brother to you, please let me know. I won't bother you anymore. If I'm a bother to you, please let me know. I won't bother you anymore. Did he misunderstand me in a weird way again? This guy. Jin Ho. Yes, Young Nim. What am I to you? What is that, AP? Ability points. Points that he can put into his different stats. He doesn't currently have any on him right now. I have an older brother who's about 10 years older than I am. He doesn't like me, so we haven't spent a lot of time together. By comparison, Hyung Nim is someone who has saved my life and also helped out with my problem. To me, Hyung Nim is more like a brother than my real brother. And this makes Jin take it back, like, real quick. If that's how you think about me, I will consider you as my younger brother. Just imagine big wet eyes of tears and holding back crying in public. That is exactly how Jin Ho looks right now. Such an amazing chapter. Such wholesome moments. Young Nim, can I hug you? Hey, you're drunk. No, Young Nim, I have never been more awake. He really is something else. They say there has been a major accident while training the new recruits. Is that true? Is it true that all the high-rank hunters have died and only the low-rank hunters have survived? There is also a rumor from the survivor that there's someone who helped them. What do you think of this? Oh, there's interviews going on about the whole Red Gate incident that happened. Apparently it's hit news lines. The investigation with the association has already been completed. It's true there has been an accident, but there was no outside party involved. Outside party? Then why are you blocking interviews with the survivors? Because the reporters are nosy and they don't know how to maintain their own space. That's why they get flipped off by celebrities. Isn't that about me? That's it for the questions. And here we go at the White Tiger Guild. Darn reporters. They're really good at sniffing out things. Master Hunter Min Byung-gu is requesting a call. What should I do? Byung-gu. Connect him. Bai Kwang, why is your phone turned off? I plan on hiding until the reporters quiet down. Ah, that! Redgate! I also heard the news in Japan. What? You're in Japan? Hyung looked brilliant on screen. Don't mess with me, I'm not in the mood for jokes. Don't worry too much about that, it'll quiet down soon. There's big news. Big news? I thought you were in Japan. Japan secretly called Korean Hunters Association about a week ago. After checking it out myself, it's more serious than I thought. This will spread all over Korea soon. Japan called the Korean Hunters Association. What were they asking? They requested for a consultation from hunters that had experienced Jeju Island raid. Yo! Let me guess. Jeju Island is the island that everyone had to evacuate from. Why am I thinking? Okay, I'm getting it mixed up with the island that is an astral chain from where all the Chimera are. I literally have a little bit of astral chain on the brain, a little bit, so I might get mixed up from there. I might be completely missing out on that. They have requested for a consultation from hunters that had experienced Jeju Island raid. Tell me in detail. Oh, well, we get explained here. Alright, so I don't need to worry about it. S-rank gate opened in Jeju Island 4 years ago, after failing 3 operations. The government had given up on Jeju Island. Even after 4 years, it's still packed with ants. Due to that reason, Hyung and I had a near-death experience. You're right, it's a nightmare that I don't want to remember. I think there has been a mutation. Mutation? That shouldn't matter, they're all stuck on the island. It shouldn't matter even if we leave it alone. Well, they can leave the island by flying over the ocean. An ant with wings has been discovered in Japan's coast. So, I'm guessing that these are S-rank monsters, and they used to be confined to the island. But just like Ian Malcolm said, life finds a way, and these once ground-bound insects are now developing and mutating so they can actually leave. That's bad. Those idiots are evolving at a terrifying degree. And that is the end of chapter 56. Yo, we got big problems from Jeju Island! But now we're back at Jin's place. You don't go out as often these days. And there's Jinna talking to Jin. And you're suddenly going on a trip? I'll be going away for a week. What are you going on a trip? Who are you going on a trip with? Did my Opa get a special someone? With my friend. Chapter 57! And it shows a tower, and then the tower is just emblazoned in fire as it shows Jin entering back into that area once again. When I defeated Cerberus, or is it Kerberos, it was at least 20 levels higher than me. Now my levels are 3 times higher. 3 times higher than when he faced the Kerberos before. I shouldn't struggle like back then. And then a blazing inferno is right there as he stands in front of the door. He finally uses the key. Would you like to use the key to enter? Yes or no? Should he stay or should he go? A quest has arrived. The Jeju Island arc is godlike. Oh, I can't wait to get to it then. What's this? I can't sense any monsters. Is it just a hallway? Is the exit that way? And he's walking down this long hallway that looks like it's inspired from Castlevania. Quest! Normal quest. Collect demons' souls. Ooh, ain't that a coinkydink? That game just came out recently, and from what I hear, it's extremely good. As soon as I get my hand on the PS5, I'm getting Demon Souls and Miles Morales. Normal quest. Collect demons' souls. Part 1. Demon Castle is filled with demons. Hunt down demons and collect their souls for special rewards. This sounds like a Dark Souls quest. Quest completion requirements, 10,000 demon souls. Rewards, 1 item of your choosing, plus bonus stats plus 20, and a hidden reward. It's been a while since I received a quest. Rewards are pretty amazing. I can receive bonus stats and choose any item from the store. There are items over 10 billion gold, and I can get them if I just clear the quest. Can you imagine the high grade weapon he can get if he succeeds? But if the rewards are great, the difficulty must also be high. I can't even find any monsters. What? A field type? I didn't expect the dungeon to be a field type, because it shows the entire area is just a destroyed cityscape that's also emblazoned in fire. Think Crisis City from Sonic 06, but without all the trash that is Sonic 06. Just the environment, none of the gameplay, none of the story. It's just the environment, just cloaked and bathed in fire. I didn't expect the dungeon to be a field type. Did the dungeon recreate entirely of Seoul? Yeah, the dungeon pretty much recreated the entire city of Seoul. That's how massive this thing is. Collecting 10,000 demon souls. That must mean there are at least 10,000 demons in the castle. You can obtain 1 soul per demon, but there are demons with multiple souls in upper floors. I used the going on a trip excuse, but will a week be enough? And he just drops his bag, and he disappears with a flash step as he goes to kill the demons. And his eyes start glowing. He's prepared to fight as he starts slashing through the demons one by one. Decapitations left and right. It's easy right now. You defeated 3 low-grade demons. You received 100 times 3 experience. You've also received 3 demon souls. Experience required until next level up to 59,700. There's an experience indicator now. How convenient. It's a fight against time now. And as we cut to a Korean restaurant, we cut to some person eating there. Who is that? And so, You want to manage the Yujin Guild. Oh wait, is this Jin Ho's father? And so you want to manage the Yujin Guild. That's right, father. This is your guild master license and your raid track record. To think my father would have a problem deciding between my brother and I. As father already knows, there is a big risk in inviting an outsider as a guild master and... Stop. There's someone you should meet. Huh? Come in. This man is Hunter Go Myung-hwan. Hello. He's a survivor from the recent White Tiger Red Gate incident. Red Gate? Please, sit. What is my schedule for reading Solo Leveling? Here's the thing. I haven't really made a schedule for when I'll do Solo Leveling. I really am just doing it now because I kind of wanted to read through it and do something for you guys on a Saturday. But I'm thinking that maybe I'll do it on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Tuesday, take a break. Thursday, take a break. Saturday, take 2 breaks because of me doing more streams on Sunday concerning One Piece and My Hero Academia and recording, and Monday to, recuperate after the fact. So I think going forward, as far as these read-throughs are concerned, until I catch up completely, it'll be Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Yeah. Sounds good to me. Because with Saturdays, a lot more people are, not doing too much, depending on people's work schedules enough, so they can, enjoy. But, yeah. I think going forward, until I completely catch up to everything, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays is when I will do Solo Leveling streams until I catch up to do just, singular chapters. Like I did back when I did My Hero Academia. I did a whole read-through of everything until I could read 1 chapter at a time whenever they release. So going forward, letting everyone know, and you can tell your friends who watch this as well, that Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays is when I will hold Solo Leveling streams. And I'm not changing it because that sounds very comfortable to me. And the time of which most likely will either be between 12 and 1. But 12 p.m., 12 noon will probably be the time that I start. I only started this late because I was tired from my last shift and I just wanted to relax a little. But going forward, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 12 p.m. 12 noon. So, there you go. And I'll put it in the community tab as well, so that way, just in case people don't know and they're wondering when I'm going to do it again, they'll know it when I put it in my community tab for all you guys to see. So, there you go. But now we have Myung-hwan there. Please, sit. Why is the survivor hiding from the media here? Please tell my son who was with you that day. Yes, well, there was a high school student female hunter and Mr. Sung Jin-woo. Hyung-min was at a Red Gate? Then that female hunter is... Her name is Han Sung-yi. Thanks to Mr. Sung Jin-woo, we were able to survive the gate. I was wondering why they got so close so suddenly. Hyung-min, what did you do? Hyung-nim, what did you do over there? At first, we were a bit flustered that 2 E-rank hunters were joining us to watch a training session, but... It's obvious, even without listening, I'm the one who understands Hyung-min's ability the most. Now I'm not the only one who knows about Hyung-min's secret. The negotiating with my father is now... But they're saying I shouldn't reveal Mr. Sung Jin-woo's existence. It was hard for me to understand White Tiger Guild's decision, and then I received a call from the chairman. Hunter, I'm butchering these names, I'm sorry. Hunter Go Myung-hwan. That should be enough. You should already know that I'm looking for information on qualified hunters. I just had to investigate the Red Gate incident when I heard there might be a third party. But I didn't expect to find his name in your raid's member list. The timing of your negotiation is unfortunate. You had a great help in obtaining your guild license from Hunter Sung Jin Woo. Do you acknowledge that?
Yo, his dad found out that among the people that are going on these raids in order to, further this thing along.
You had a great help in obtaining your guild license from Hunter Sung Jin Woo. Do you acknowledge that?
I acknowledge it. There's no difference between my brother and me, who has received outside help. My father has no merit in selecting me.
Do you have anything else to say?
But will you leave the Jin Guild to me?
All right.
Huh?
I'll leave the Jin Guild to you.
But why?
It's like you said. It's risky to leave the guild to an outsider. Is there a need to take on the risk when I have you?
But I tried to fool you.
What kind of fool asserts the negatives during a negotiation? This man, Hunter Sung Jin Woo. Can you bring him over to Jin Guild?
Finally, a chance. I will try my best. Yo, White Tiger wants Jin, and now the Jin wants Jin.
Tiger's kid is still a tiger. All right, I understand. There are 2 S-rank hunters I tried to reach out for Jin Guild. Chan Hei-in from the Hunters Guild and Ming Byung-yu, who has retired. Che Hei-in is limited to Vice Master position under Choi Jong-in, who is known as the ultimate weapon. Compared to that, there's merit in becoming Jin Guild Master with financial backing. I use that as a condition. While Min Byung-yu has a healthy body and can still be active as a hunter, he chose to retire after failing Jeju Island raid 3 times, but the ant corpse discovered in Japan. If a 4th Jeju Island raid is formed, I should be able to win him over. Will I be able to win them over first, or will you win over Hunter Sung Jin Woo first? This will be fun, Jin Ho.
Yo, his dad is playing that long game, that long play, that long year play. He's just watching this all unfold. He's pulling a Palpatine. He's just letting things, he's silently orchestrating things and just watching things go down, hopefully in his favor. But now we're back to Jin again. I still got a long way to go. You defeated a low-grade demon. You received 100 experience. Collected demon souls, 309 of 10,000. Yeah, he definitely does have a long way to go. But he also managed to get a low-grade demon horn, which is junk. 2 tiny horns, item class none, type junk. 2 tiny horns on low-grade demons' heads. Demons' horns are used as materials for high-grade magic and fetch a high price. And thus ends Chapter 57, onwards to Chapter 58. But before we begin, my throat is getting kind of parched, and I kind of don't want to. I remember when I first did my My Hero Academia read-throughs, I lost my voice, and my throat didn't recover until at least like 2 months later. It was hard for me to swallow, it was hard for me to really speak, and I couldn't really enjoy anything because I threw my voice out that much during the first read-through that I did. Especially when I did Bakugo's voice, I really threw my voice out. So, I've learned to drink water and keep myself hydrated. So, before we continue, I am going to go get myself something to drink, and then we'll finish off these last 3 chapters, 58, 59, and 60. So, talks amongst yourselves, everyone. I will be right back.
Unfortunately, my break is over. I gotta get back in, enjoy the epicness. Chapter 60 is amazing and a perfect place to end on. Always a pleasure. Thank you, Shonen Sensei, for showing up. Once again, thank you for the donation. It really does mean a lot. I'm just glad that I was able to entertain you. Well, let's get back to it. Chapter 58. And it just recaps the last bit where Jin says he has a long way to go. Alright, Chapter 58. Demon Castle's starting difficulty wasn't very high. Looks like this area is all cleared. Monsters' levels are D rank at best. Despite that, they gave a considerate amount of experience. To raise one level, I need to clear C rank dungeons 9 times, but can't I raise one level in 4 hours here? As my level increases, the required amount of experience also increases. In other words, it's gradually becoming harder to grow. I felt it when I met Jin Ho. My current rank is just barely an S rank. To become stronger, I can't start to lose my pace. And he got some parchment. Item, entry permit. Item class, unknown. Type, unknown. A permit to enter the second floor of Demon Castle. Usable in floor movement magic circle on the first floor. Let's move to the second floor. Floor movement magic circle. It must be over there, as it shows like a light shooting up in the sky in the distance. It's where Namsan Tower is located. Any one of monster type soldier. Come out. And then he summons his big old ice bear. It's the leader of ice bears. He's huge. Isn't he like a heavy duty vehicle? Well, let's go. Huh? And before they start moving, there's a whole bunch of demons in front of them. Big ones. Darn, those annoying Jags! And before he can say anything else, the leader of the ice bears just tears through all of them, sprinting forward. This guy is wild. You're tank from now on. Run until you reach the magic circle. And ice bear is just tearing through them all. In Washington at the United States Bureau of Hunters. Is that him? Yes, sir. Bureau of Hunters Deputy Director. Did you find out this man's identity? He's claiming that he's a hunter from South Korea. How did a hunter from South Korea come out of a dungeon on the other side of the earth? He's claiming he was stuck in the dungeon when the gate closed 10 years ago and found himself in the United States when he opened his eyes. This is an unprecedented incident. Not only did a human come out of an A-rank gate, but the attack force comprised of A-rank hunters were useless against him. Sorry, I had to cough just a little bit. Is that all from the investigation? Why aren't you guys gathering more information? We highly suspect that he's a monster with human memories. Without help from S-rank hunters, the entire Washington capital might be placed in danger. After checking with the Scavenger Guild, there's one S-rank hunter in Washington that is fluent in Korean. Scavenger Guild's main hunter, Mr. Huang? Is he on the way? He recently finished his business back in Korea and is on his way back. Great. So you get the most homicidal dude to be the guy you call on to be on standby for this other guy who is, for all intents and purposes, from the feeling I get from him, to be ridiculously strong. Yeah, that's going to work out just fine. The interrogation will continue tomorrow morning. What a crappy day. A pest I wanted to kill with my own hands ended up getting stuck in a red gate. The timing can't get any worse. That's great. Ah, right. What was that man's name again? Pronunciation is a bit hard, but Sung Yi-hwan, a South Korean hunter. And then we're back at the demon castle again. Each demon castle's floor is made up of a separated world. And it shows the permit. A monster holding the entry permit randomly appears in each floor, and you can only progress to the next floor by acquiring the entry permit. If this giant tower has 100 floors, you could say that 100 different worlds must exist here. Second floor, third floor, fourth floor, and the 27th floor. As time went by, I climbed the floors at a scary pace. You've defeated an intermediate grade demon. You received 300 experience. You've also received a demon soul. Dominator's touch skill has leveled up. Yo! It's even work. His skills are leveling up. Intermediate grade demons are high mid-C rank at best. The difficulty of high grade or even stronger demons will probably go up exponentially. Even the difference between A rank and S rank hunters are distinct. Alright, he is currently at, his current demon soul count is at 2,116 out of 10,000. So, he's got quite a bit more to go. The problem was time. If there really are 100 floors, reaching the top floor in 1 week will be impossible. And it shows both Iron and Igris just traveling with him. This man's mad posse. It's so awesome. When I first obtained Demon Castle's key, I was afraid that this place would be an S-rank dungeon, but my anxiety started to disappear with time and boring battles. 47, 48, 49, 50th floor, and his souls count just keeps rising. The ruler of lower floors, Avaricious Vulcan. That's a big demon. Sounds like something. Looks like something that would either be in Diablo or Darksiders Genesis. Vulcan's Guard, Vulcan's Guard, Vulcan's Guard. Yeah, he kind of reminds me of... Which one of the primevals does he remind me of? He kind of reminds me of Abaddon. No. There was Diablo. There was Mephisto. No, there was Belial. No, I'm thinking Abaddon. Just sitting in his chair, looking mad fat with a giant, I want to say giant stone hammer in his hand. But the way he's drawn, and he's got like a whole bunch of guards around him. A boss grade demon. That giant looks dangerous. I'll have to take care of it. Let's begin. And then all the magicians charge up magic, and they all launch towards the demons. And they pretty much destroy a great deal of them. But then Tank and Igris show up every time they're on screen. I just love it. Take care of the rest. Vulcan's Guard has discovered an intruder. Get rid of them. And Jin just uses stealth to slip past them. As Igris, every time Igris does something, it is always amazing. There hasn't been a single moment where Igris hasn't done something that doesn't scream, yo, I want to see whatever this guy does whenever. Because he just straight up bifurcates one of the demons in front of him. Even if those guards are high-ranked demons, I've been constantly raising the levels of my shadow soldiers. Shadow soldiers are strengthened from my intelligence stat. Not to mention the number of shadows I can save also increases. I have enough mana for regeneration after increasing my intelligence stat by a lot. But that guy isn't moving at all. I'll just go and finish it. This is easier than I... And then all of a sudden... this big, giant, fat demon of a guy immediately disappears from the chair, and he's right on top of all of his soldiers. This big dude is fast, like Quicksilver fast. What is that movement? And it shows Iron right in front of all those other soldiers. Please don't take Iron out. He just got here, and I already like him. But then Vulcan smashes down on them, and Iron is hit really hard. And then Vulcan swipes again. Yo, Igris got hit! Just how strong is this guy? The magicians got hit. The soldiers got hit. And Jin, I guess he's got fed up with this guy and messing with his soldiers. He charges up and jumps at him, and his fist charges up with power, and it must be considerable power because his once intact sleeve has literally ripped apart from the amount of power that he's building up in his arm. This jerk. And then hits him square in the jaw. Status: Strength 150, Agility 139, Senses 111, Vitality 109, and Intelligence 109. And now we got more stats. Collected demon souls, 4,388 of 10,000. Skill, shadow extraction level 2. And then we have the entry permit. Wait, is this? Wait. Hold on. Hold on. It's okay. This is chapter 58, but now it's going into chapter 59 in the same exact page. It's going into chapter 59 in the same exact page? What in the world? Hold on. Okay, we're right now. We're right. For some odd reason, chapter 58, the page I was on, it put chapter 59 in that same page. That's why it took longer to get through, because right when I get down to when Jin is about to punch the demon in the face, it went into chapter 59. So I went over to chapter 59. That was the end of chapter 58 previously. This is chapter 59 right now. This jerk. And then he punches the demon straight in the face. Chapter 59! And there's a massive explosion as I guess Jin sent it flying. I lost my temper and hit him, but why did he fly so far away? Ah, that's right. Stats. I stupidly invested into my strength. And then Jin notices something as Vulcan stands up. The ruler of the lower floors, avaricious Vulcan, is using wrath. Vulcan will maintain its rage status. Vulcan stats will increase by 50. This is the same skill Kerberos used. Vulcan will feel less pain. He got faster because he's already jumping towards Jin after Jin sent him flying away with that punch. I can't avoid this. It'll be a direct hit. Iron! And then Iron comes in and braces for impact. Oh no, he doesn't brace for impact. He throws his shield. And it goes sailing towards Jin so Jin can use it. I didn't know that Jin could use his soldier stuff. He just became twice as useful. And then Jin braces himself as Vulcan brings his hammer down, his club down on him. And the force of the blow craters the ground completely. Like, think of Smith grabbing onto Neo and dive bombing into the ground at the end of their fight in Matrix Revolutions. That's pretty much the destruction that Vulcan just caused by smashing into Jin. But Vulcan continues to hit multiple times. Just like constantly hitting them like a mad caveman sort of thing. But demon. But you understand my analogy. I can withstand this due to my strength, but I need to find an opening for a counterattack. On the next attack, during its continuous movement. Now! Just as the demon raises his hand, Jin jumps at him. Was he also aiming for this chance? And Vulcan brings his club down. Darn, I can't avoid it while I'm in midair. If I could move my body. Wait, move my body? Dominator's touch activated. Even though I can't push him back, I can use the recoil to push myself back. Yo, he's learning! He's learning to use his powers! I did it. That was close. The only place I can harm Vulcan with a dagger is on his head. But it'll be too dangerous to aim for his head while reading his movements. I need to seal his grotesque movements first. I need to create an unavoidable situation. And he looks over at a teetering building that's kind of broken in half. That's it. And Jin immediately dashes in that direction. Vulcan sees this and takes off after him. He completely lost his cool. Good. Just keep following me. And Vulcan is definitely keeping up with him. Now! And then he uses sprint, and then just doubles up his speed and runs up that same building he was eyeing before. Even if you noticed it, it's too late now. And Vulcan can only look up. It'll be hard for you to suddenly stop at that speed. And then Jin uses all of his strength to jump towards to jump towards Vulcan's head, and he brings up his dagger in his hand as he rushes him at high speeds. Then Jin just cuts him into the shoulder, and Vulcan screams out in pain. And back to the present day. And we have a old lady here.
A young man from Unit 902. I'm not sure. I haven't seen him in a while.
Where did he go, Hunter Sung Jin Woo?
His sister said that he's going on a trip with his friends for a week.
How does Miss Park Hee Jin know about that?
I've been in contact with Han Sung Yi, who came along with Sung Jin Woo that day.
Oh, so she works with the associate? She works with the chief. She works with the White Tiger Guild. Wait, what am I saying? Of course she does. Of course she does. I kind of didn't put it together completely. I just thought she was tagging along. But she's there with them. Interesting. And I'm losing light, so I'm glad that I'm on the second to last chapter. That natural light. Because this light right here in my room, not good enough. I need to get a ring light of some type. How does Miss Park Hee Jin know about that?
I've been in contact with Han Sung Yi, who came along with Sung Jin Woo that day. I asked her since she's close with Sung Jin Woo's younger sister. We came all the way to his house, but it was all in vain.
No, there's something strange. There's no trace of him leaving the country. No records of him withdrawing money or using his credit cards.
You're able to check these things?
Well, my job is to follow hunters. And he was last found somewhere downtown, according to the Hunters Association's tracker. Isn't that quite mysterious?
Maybe he got kidnapped?
Hunter Sung Jin Woo did? To kidnap him, they would at least need China's special unit comprised of high-rank hunters. Miss Park Hee Jin should know that firsthand. Just where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? I mean, just where in the world did he disappear to? But it shows Vulcan with a chipped tooth, with a chipped fang, and a giant gashing shoulder. And Jin is just leaping at him. And that is the end of chapter 59. Onwards, ladies and gentlemen, to the last chapter for today. We're doing good. I gotta say, this art is amazing. For this manga to be in color. Every chapter I've read has all been in color. There hasn't been any black and white chapters. All of it has been in color. And every single one of these panels is art. They're all amazing. They better give, if Solo Leveling gets an anime, is getting an anime in 21. They do not need to give it to a studio that does half jobs in animation. There's no rush for the anime to be pushed out episode after episode after episode. Put it in the hands of people who are capable of delivering this type of art of all these panels in charge of animation. Don't give it to the studio that did One Punch Man Season 2. Give it to the studio that did One Punch Man Season 1. Or did Seven Deadly Sins Season 1. Give it to people who know how to handle art properly. Don't give it to a second-hand company just because you want to crank out episodes quickly. Give it to people who will take care and illustrate this manga correctly into animation. I'm sorry, I got in a whole other tangent there, but I've seen what happens when people get cheap and decide that they want something to get pushed out rather quickly, and they don't invest the time to make sure that it looks good and it functions good and everything about it runs smoothly. Marvel's Avengers. So, needless to say, I really hope that they give it to a company that would take as much care as the creator did into drawing all of these pages. But here in chapter 60, it shows blood all over the rocks, and avaricious Vulcan is down. Yep, he is dead, as expected from a boss-grade monster. The drops are excellent. He've obtained the Demon Monarch's earring, he obtained the Orb of Avarice, he obtained 2 horns from Vulcan, and obtained the World Tree's Fragment, an ingredient item. Ingredient item, World Tree's Fragment. Item class, Unknown. Type ingredient. A leftover piece of wood from removing the corrupted parts of Vulcan's club, which was created from the World Tree's branch. Woods from the World Tree contains a powerful magic and thus used as an ingredient for magic items of the highest quality. Ooh. An ingredient for magic items of the highest quality. I can't throw it away without knowing what it can be used for. I'll find a use for it someday. Then we have the Demon Monarch's earrings. Type class S rank. Type accessory. 20 additional. He's just getting more and more strength with all these drops. Plus 20 strength, plus 20 vitality. Set effect will activate if this item is equipped along with Demon Monarch's necklace and Demon Monarch's rings. Set effect 1 locked and set effect 2 locked. This item has a set effect. Will I find the rest of the set items if I continue to hunt demons here? Guess I'll find out soon enough. And lastly, this has an amazing effect. If I had magic skills, I would have wanted to use it. I would have wanted to use it myself. Orb of Avarice. Item type, item class, A rank. Type, magic item. An orb created by hardening blood of high rank demon Vulcan. It will amplify magic effects to deal more damage. Effect, Desire for Destruction. Double magic damage. It can double magic damage, huh? And then he looks over at Igris. Can you not do that? 'Cause of you, he's doing the same thing. And because when he looked at Igris, Igris brought over several demon guard heads over to him and just knelt him and was like, I have brought you gifts, master. Please praise me. And then, all because Igris did that, Iron cuts off the head of Vulcan and drags that over. Because of you, he's doing the same thing. Not to mention, I was the one to kill him. Okay, since you lent me your shield, let's say that you helped. Shield? Maybe. Magic unit, stop paying attention to weird things and come over here. Because Iron is just over, just chilling with the demon heads, all like, yep, I brought this over. And then all the magicians and all the soldiers are like, oh, you brought it over. The personality and dynamic of all these shadows is amazing. I love every single one of them, just the way they interact with each other. Here. Fire. And he gives it to one of the magicians, and they fire a fireball out. And the fireball is massive, and it destroys wow. And it pretty much lights the entire building on fire. And it's a big building. Incredible. I don't see it. A description saying that I can't hand it over to others? Because it doesn't technically say that he can't give it to one of his units. This will make magic type hunters go crazy. Chapter 60! And the last chapter will do for today. I didn't expect such an interesting incident to develop the moment I arrive in Washington. Oh wait. I didn't expect such an interesting incident to develop the moment I arrived in Washington. How amazing. A monster that can speak a human language. And it's Korean. Hey, I'm telling you that I'm not a monster. If you doubt my identity, you can do a DNA test or... No matter what, we need to stay alert since you came out of a gate. Since a monster could be disguising themselves as a human. And the guy just looks at him. It'll be beneficial for you to cooperate with me. I can decide whether you're a human, a monster, or a human. Right. Did you die in a dungeon? How did you survive in there for 10 years? Are you undead? No. Then can someone who died in a dungeon come back just like you? And he's wondering if someone can die in a dungeon, can come back just like this guy, and then maybe his brother. My brother. It's impossible. The dead cannot come back. Let me ask you a question as well. I'll be the one to ask questions. Gates and monsters. How much do you know about those topics? Deputy Director. Quiet. You're saying that you know something? Dungeons, gate, monsters. Those are nothing but a prelude to the real war. And the greatest disaster among them has woken up not too long ago. I'm sorry. The greatest disaster. Yo, we got an end-level Avengers level threat here. Not the Avengers game Avengers level threat, because their biggest threat was MODOK. But there's a great disaster that just woke up. Good, I'm getting endgame vibes. Then your true goal is to stop the disaster. What is the greatest disaster? I cannot say. The human who came back to stop the disaster cannot reveal what the disaster is. Is it better for people? Isn't it better for people to work together? Numbers are nothing against his power. Even if the sloppy people gather together, they'll just end up being used. You should already know that since you're quite strong yourself. Quite. Yo, this dude is stronger. This dude is stronger than Dong-su. If you say, like, you're strong, but if you say, you're quite strong yourself, quite strong, that must mean that there must be a higher amount of power. It's starting to get darker. It really is starting to get darker. Hold on. Put on my flashlight because it is getting darker in the room. I don't have too much more to go. Alright, hopefully this looks a lot better for you guys. But here we go. You should already know that since you're quite strong yourself. Quite. How dare you look down on me? Therefore, only you can stop it. There's no point in dealing with you anymore. His name is Sung Yil-hwan. If his hair is taken care of, he will definitely match with this picture, but he didn't age that much despite running away in a dungeon for 10 years. Your days spent as a hunter were splendid. You would have made a big sum of money in this current age. There's a grading system in place now, and at my level, you can live without worry. One must adapt to the new age. Spouse's name is Park Kyung-hee. You have 2 children. Your son is... And then something catches his eye. Do you remember your daughter's name? Sung Jin-ah. Oh! Ah! Ah! This is Jin's father! Oh my goodness! Oh! I'm sorry, bruh! I'm sorry, bruh! What you talking about, bruh? What? This dude who came out is Jin's dad! Oh! I done knocked my phone over and knocked over my light and everything. Oh! Yo! Do you remember your daughter's name? Sung Jin-ah. And your son? Sung Jin-woo. What is that? That bloodlust. I told you that I'm the one asking questions. I need to hear your answer. Yo! He's Yo! I love this dude already. He's so awesome. And if I don't answer, I will have to use force. How arrogant. This may be a second chance given by the gods. Okay, you must be a monster. Deputy Director, this man is a monster. He will be attacking soon. You should evacuate quickly. What? Wait! I just returned home from South Korea. I know quite well about your son's current status. Your son is dead. You can directly hand your will to your son. Dude, Dong-su, I don't think you want to pick this fight. There's something about Jin's dad. I don't even know Jin's dad all that well. We just seen him for a little bit, but his mannerisms are like that of a person who has insurmountable power, but at the same time, he doesn't show off. I'm scared for Dong-su right now. But now it's cutting to another environment inside the castle as we cut to a cemetery. And there's someone raising skeletons. Is this an entire cemetery full of undead? And it looks like a lich. Iron. Igris. Yep, here's Jin. Open a path. And both Igris and Iron just take off. Igris and his entire shadow army just charge forward. And they both just start fighting the army of the undead. Doing what they do best. Every panel with Igris is majestic. Just his one-handed swipes with his giant greatsword. It is absolutely amazing. Are you surprised by how strong my kids are? And then the Lich is just looking at him like, what? And then Jin is just standing at the top of a giant tombstone, just looking down at the Lich like, you didn't expect this, did you? You didn't expect this, did you? And the Lich is just staring at him. Can the undead also feel fear? Well, it doesn't matter. And then Jin just slices him apart effortlessly. And that concludes the end of chapter 60 and the end of today's solo leveling stream for today. Overall, there's been a massive development as far as characters are concerned. We just seen Jin's father. And Dong-su wants to fight him. But I feel like Jin's dad is going to really give Dong-su either a run for his money, but the fact that he said he's quite strong, I don't think Dong-su is in his ballpark. I just get that feeling. Not to mention that Jin is in this area now leveling up and getting stronger and getting all these cool items. What's going to happen when Jin meets up with his father after all this time? There's just so much going on with solo leveling right now, and every chapter has been amazing. But this chapter right here, seeing Jin's father get a name drop, and also finding out that this is Jin's dad, and Jin's dad has come back after all this time to let everyone know that, hey, yeah, we're about to be in trouble because the greatest disaster that the world has ever known has woken up after a long time of sleeping. I'm so glad I'm so glad I started to read this manga. I am so glad. But that's it for chapter 60. I'm gonna go ahead and bookmark 61 so we can go ahead and continue that on Tuesday. But ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's solo leveling stream for today. I have to admit that this entire series as a whole is amazing. Every single panel is beautifully drawn, and you can, even when there are characters in these chapters that don't actually speak, their actions speak much more than words, and you get a sense of personality with people like Iron and Igris and all the other shadow soldiers that Jin has raised. It's like so much emotion conveyed through just body language, which is amazing. Not a lot of people can do that so effortlessly. We'll see you again tomorrow for One Piece, and I believe My Hero Academia as well, because I think we're getting 2 chapters as far as that is concerned. But 2 chapters, we're getting 2 different chapters. We're getting One Piece and My Hero Academia as well, plus the usual One Piece episode. So I'm looking forward to those. But overall, you can get the sense that solo leveling is awesome. I see why people like to read this so much, and I'm glad that I took the time to read it myself. But overall, I don't want to keep you guys any longer than I already have. We already hit the 2-hour mark, which went on a little bit longer than I was expecting. But we got the point across. We caught up with Jin, and we caught up with Jin where he is right now. And as far as these current chapters I'm reading are concerned, we'll continue chapters 61 through 70 on Tuesday at 12 p.m. Hold me to that, because that is the new schedule for solo leveling streams, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 12 p.m. noon Eastern Standard Time. So if you live in a different time zone, then just piece that together as best as you can. But overall, I enjoyed this. I just want to say thank you, everyone, for coming out to see my stream today. I really, really enjoyed myself.
Thank you, Shonen Sensei, for the donation. Every time you do that, it just surprises me because I am nothing but humbled that you consider me worthy. And for everyone that showed up here today, I'm Sir, and Cohagen. Let me go through the list of people that showed up here real quick. Jonathan Endale. Shonen Sensei, obviously, and Urukis and Metsei. Everyone who showed up, just thank you for taking the time out to see me today. You guys didn't have to do it, but I appreciate the support you guys are showing for this channel nonetheless. So with that being said, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. And if you happen to be a brand new person to the channel and you enjoyed what you saw here today, then maybe consider subscribing because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day. And once again, as always, later, peoples.